Right, so yesterday we were cutting one of these, or possibly in the last video that you saw, I just started cutting that. Oh, I don't know where it's gone. Anyway, you see this bit right there, that little Y bit? So the longer the Y is on here, the easier it is to move these parts. So basically the knife goes in and out of the holder easier. You know, it doesn't click so hardly. It isn't so hard to get in and out. And it was a bit too loose. So we cut another one. Oh, this is the other one. So this is a little bit narrower. So these are shorter compared to the previous one. The machine is actually moving too fast. I don't know if you can see it. I'll hold that there. Hopefully that's focusing. If you can see that the Y just isn't straight. There's a little bit of squintness to it or something like that. So I'm going to slow it down, test that, and if that works, we're gonna do 10. We're gonna cut 10 and go through the whole process of making sort of the final finished knife. And if we can get 10 done, then we'll crack on and do the other 120 something. The tumbler is going, so it's a little bit louder, my apologies. We have just cut these. So that is now the fixture fully ready to go, to now put the remainder of these on. I think I said we're going to do a run of 10, maybe, well, about 8, I didn't cut enough scales. I've just done the very first of 16 scales we're going to do. So that is that there. Now, the other side, I think in the last video, I believe I showed you the inside, and you know, I skimmed out the inside and I went round on the inside and, you know, just to clean it up a bit. But instead of using that, I used a flat end mill for that previously, and that would look like, give me a second, it's a slightly smaller version of this. Hopefully that's focusing. So that's a flat end mill. What I'm using instead now is this. Hopefully that's focusing, and that is a ball end mill. And so the pattern that leaves, if I can find it, I'll just put it down. Oh, hold on. So that's it there. So hopefully this is coming out for you. So that leaves a very cool pattern inside. So I'm just going to keep cracking into those. Each one takes around 6 minutes or so, 6-7 minutes. So yeah, 280 to do, 6 minutes a piece. I can put twice as many. I'm gonna change the fixture so that there is 2 every time, 2 at a time, and those 2 will each take what is it? Something like 11 minutes for 2. 11 minutes for 2, and we've got to do 280, so I'll leave you with the maths for that one and how long this is going to take. So the machining has been going really well, amazing. So we've got a bunch of scales, a bunch of holders done on there. We're going to tumble them now and try and get those knives together.
You're just doing a braid.
Am I doing a brad, did you say? So as you can hear, that is the tumbler now on, and that is going to be 60 minutes at 175 RPM in what we call rough cut, which is like a very abrasive ceramic media. We will then most likely do, what do we do? Do some green, make it look a bit better, and then we're going to epoxy. We've got some sort of industrial epoxy, the scales on, the holders together, and that will be it, I believe. We'll just test those knives, and if they're all good, then it will be full production mode, really, and hopefully plan is to get them done by the end of next week. So those are the scales and the holder halves in the water. They're just sitting there in between tumbling stages. We just epoxied with this very industrial stuff. I did a lot of research, or quite a bit of research, on the best sort of epoxy to glue, to epoxy the scales on and the holder together. That stuff there is like a heat cure type affair, and it's apparently it's unbelievably good, and it seems to be so far. So if you look down here, so that is our little oven, our little toaster oven, and that is curing. It takes about an hour curing the scales. So we've got 5 scales. So once those scales are done, we then will tumble them again in this media here. Let's have a look. That will give them a nice finish. At the same time, we will also do the scales that are in the sink. That'll give them a nice finish. We will then put the scales on some of these blades that are here. And then that will be them essentially done. The first 5, just check 5. If they're all good, then we can just get cracking into cutting the rest of the holders, which are these. We can cut the rest of those on here on this fixture. And once we've done that, because that's all lined up, we can cut the scales. So we've got these titanium, showing you loads of stuff today, unbelievable. So we got these sheets sanded. These are sheets of titanium. Brad sanded these this morning. We've only sanded one side because we only need one side. The other side actually gets milled down because those are 3.5 mil thick. The little scales end up at 2.5 mil thick, so we only need to do one side. No point, you know, minimum effective dose. I learned that from Tim Ferriss. You know, just kind of what you need to get what's done, otherwise it's a waste. So we'll water jet cut those, and then I will machine them on here. I have just, if you look here, so I only had one fixture initially here. I've just added another two there. So what I can do, well, it's one fixture, I've added two more pockets, should I say, so I can do two at a time on there rather than one at a time. And yeah, it's going really well. Fingers crossed it keeps going. Everyone's sort of, Brad, Sky, Nathan, myself, we're all sort of really getting stuff done today, which is awesome. So the scales have just come out the oven. They have come out really, really well. Hopefully that's focusing. There's a nice thin line there, all the way around, fairly thin. Really not any of the Permabond epoxy showing. And yeah, so I just need to, I'm going to put some foam in there now, tumble them together with the scales, and okie dokie, right, I will call it a day at that. I'm really getting into the videos now. I will leave you with a quote. It is by Abraham Lincoln, and he said, "The best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend."